Hello and welcome to Full Throttle, celebrating the very best of British motorsports from all across the UK. Today we're at the Snetterton race circuit in Norfolk for this edition, and we showcase the various formulas of the classic touring car racing club, featuring saloon cars of all shapes, sizes and ages from across the history of saloon car racing from around the world. We'll be looking at the pre-66 touring cars combined with the pre-83s on the same grid, the oldest cars here. We've also got the pre-93 and 03 touring cars, the Blue Oval Saloon Series for everything Ford, the classic Thunder Saloons, the most powerful cars here today. And also we've got the Jaguar Enthusiast Club, big cats racing against each other around the tricky Snetterton 300 circuits. As we get ready for our next race, we're going saloon car racing next. It's the Classic Touring Car Racing Club for our next race, and it's the oldest cars that we'll see in their multi-championship roster this weekend. The Pultec Race Engines pre-66 touring cars and the Shell Oils pre-83 touring cars. Cadwell Park, it was a double win in pre-83 for Stephen Primet at the wheel of his Mark 1 Escort, the multiple pre-83 touring car champion. Last year it was Mike Luck who won the title in his BMW. More on him in a second, because here's the grid for our combined pre-83 and pre-66 race. On pole position it is Stephen Primet with his Mark 1 Escort. The similar machine of Mark Lucock starts alongside him. Second row, number 78, Thomas Harvey. Not in his usual Ford Escort. He is in Mike Luck's BMW E21. Mike, unfortunately, is unwell at the moment, so Thomas Harvey has stepped in to race his car this weekend. Alongside him, Mark Osborne, the Welshman, in his Triumph Dolomite Sprint. Row 3, David Howard in the Jaguar XJ12. Alongside Piers Grange. He's the first of the pre-66 cars in his Ford Mustang. Row 4, we've got number 4, Simon Jeffs. He's in a VW Golf Mark 1 GTI. And Alan Greenhaw in his Ford Falcon, regular winner this year in pre-66. Row 5, we've got number 99, that's David Margulies. He's in Alfa Romeo GTV6 alongside Roger Stanford, double winner from Cadwell Park in his Lotus Cortina in pre-66. Row 6, Big Al Wayman at the wheel of his Chevy Camaro, starts alongside Malcolm Best in his Ford Capri, two veteran racers there. Row 7, Jonathan Corker in his little Datsun 510, starts alongside Duncan Leftley, number 42. He's in a Golf GTI. Row 8, we've got number 86, Colin Claxton in his Dolomite Sprint, alongside 73, Robin Slater. He's in a Ford Anglia. Row 9, 122, Tony Palmer in his lovely Rover SD1 Vitesse, alongside 63, Kevin Swan, the former Bangor racer, at the wheel of his Ford Anglia. Real variety of cars here. Martin Reynolds, local man from Norfolk, lives up near Wisbech on row 10 in the number 27 car. He's in a Ford Anglia alongside number 12 Nathan Williams in his Mini. Row 11, Anton Martin, number 6 in his Ford Escort alongside Andy Mesham, long-time Mini racer, number 5. Row 12, number 69 Luke Wilson, he's in an Austin A40 alongside 641 Peter Millington, he's in a Hillman Avenger. Row 13, we've got 81 Mark Cholerton, a long way down the grid by his usual standards, must have had an issue in qualifying with his Mark II Escorts. Alongside 64 Keith Evans, he's in an Alfa Romeo Alfa Sud. Penultimate row, we've got number 22 Michael Loveland in a Hillman Imp alongside 118 Nathan Beresford's BMW 1800. And the final row, number 26, a shared car, the Austin A40. Steve Evans drives in this race. Brian Bedford will drive in race 2 tomorrow. And completing the grid, the lone Morris Minor here this weekend, 68 Keith Wright. It's good to see Keith is back out. He had an accident at Cadwell Park on August Bank Holiday Monday, so if he's in his usual car, he has done very well to repair, because the front end was quite badly damaged on that car. The revs will begin to rise, the red lights will come on, they go out, and we're about to get underway. Here they come then, down towards Riches for the first time. The pack is unleashed. Good start by David Howard in the Jaguar. From the third row, the grid gets up the inside. He's going to out-drag the two Escorts as they go down towards the first corner. Can he get up the inside of Stephen Primet? They're side by side. Tom Harvey in the BMW tucked in there as well. David Margulies has lost the Alfa Romeo on the inside there onto the grass. But it's the Escorts that show first into Wilson's hairpin. Mark Lucock having a look up the inside of Stephen Primet. They're side by side on the run through Wilson's hairpin. Tom Harvey's gone wide in the BMW. This great dancing double file column of cars through the hairpin. It's Mark Lucock in the blue Escort, still sporting a bit of damage from the last round at Cadwell Park, where he spun into the tyre wall, who leads the way. Second place is Stephen Primet in the white Escort, but David Howard in the XJ12 trying to drag alongside him there into Agostini up the inside. The Jaguar will move through into second place. Then it's Tom Harvey, Simon Jeffs in the Golf, and the Dolomite of Mark Osborne. Alan Greenhaw, meanwhile, has got ahead of Piers Grange's Mustang. That's for the lead in pre-66. Here come your leaders then. Mark Lucock's bright blue Ford Escorts round towards Oggies for the first time. The car, as you can see there on the left-hand side, still a bit battered from a spin into the tyre wall at Cadwell. He leads the way from David Howard, and Stephen Primet's dropped back to fourth because the BMW of Tom Harvey has come through into third place. There are the leaders in pre-66, the Falcon and the Mustang. And already Mark Chollerton, after problems in qualifying, is charging through the field in the Mark II Escorts. There's Tony Palmer, that big Rover SD1. It's Mark Lucock who leads from David Howard into Brundle and Nelson for the first time. And Stephen Primet, the pole sitter, has dropped back to fourth behind Tom Howard at the wheel of the Mike Luck BMW. Simon Jeffs in the Golf is fifth. Then we've got Mark Osborne's Black Dolomite in sixth position. Himself a former champion. The first six have broken away slightly. Osborne having a look there as they come towards Coram. Round the outside goes Tom Harvey. Look at that. That's not a move you see too often. All the way round the outside of David Howard, and Mark Osborne. Is he going to get through there? Well, that was a brave move on the brakes into Murray's. Mark Osborne threw everything up the inside there past Simon Jeffs, and I think he's made the move stick for fifth place. Cracking racing, and we're only on the first lap. Mark Lucock leads. There's a slippery surface flag out there from the marshals going towards Riches. Maybe there's a bit of oil been dropped there, but David Howard back up the inside on Tom Howard in the BMW. It might be from David Margolies' car there, so maybe it was an engine issue that caused him to spin there, the Alfa Romeo. He's out of the race. So the Escorts first and third now, because, my goodness, Stephen Primet round the outside of David Howard at Wilson's Hairpin. That's an even rarer move. They are flinging these cars around like go-karts here on the Snetterton 300 circuit. Mark Lucock leads Tom Howard, Primet third, Howard fourth, Osborne fifth. He did make that move stick on Simon Jeffs. There's some bravery out there, including from the big American V8s there, the Falcon and the Mustang, Greenhaw and Grange. There goes David Howard and Simon Jeffs looking on. These five have gone well clear of the pre-66 leaders, Greenhaw and Grange. Roger Stanford is third in pre-66 in the Cortina. Tom Howard had a brief look round the outside there at Brundle, trying to set the car up for Nelson's corner. Don't think he'll get through there. No, the Escort stays ahead. We've got just over 6 minutes of the race to go. Oh, we've had a change for the lead as well while that was going on. We were focusing on the pre-66 cars, but Tom Harvey, that must have been down into Riches, has taken the lead from Mark Lucock. Now battle will be joined. The Escorts, are they going to team up to take on the BMW? Now by Tom Harvey. There's Mark Chollerton. He's now got ahead of the pre-66 battlers. There's the lead scrap for pre-66. Piers Grange still throwing that Mustang around, trying to catch Alan Greenhall's Falcon for the pre-66 lead. Oh, the leader's gone off. Tom Harvey a little bit over exuberant through Hamilton. He does a bit of rally crossing. He's held it and he's held the lead. Nice recovery by young Tom Harvey. He really is a driver to keep an eye on. Here comes the Escort of Mark Lucock. He's going to retake the lead into the bomb hole. Yes, he's got him. Tom Harvey trying a little bit too hard. I wonder if his tyres are going off. Perhaps maybe he's pushed them too hard in the early laps. Now we see some of the class leaders on the right of your screen. We keep an eye on the track action. It's still Lucock from Harvey. Stephen Primet wants second place here. They're all in the same class as well, these three. Pre-83 Class C, you can see there on the right of your screen. So here come the leaders. Primet's going to have a go here for second place. He goes for the inside into Riches. Tom Harvey doesn't give way. They're side by side on the run through Riches, then up towards Wilson's Hairpin. Primet's got the inside. He's surely going to go through into second and make it an Escort 1-2. He's on the inside for the hairpin, and he does go through. Tom Harvey down to third place. He's pushing perhaps a bit too hard in that BMW. If Mike Luck is watching here, the car's owner will be watching through his fingers, I think. That's my car, he's thinking, be careful with it. Fourth place is David Howard. And a gap back to Simon Jeffs in the Golf. Howard leading his class, he's Class A. Pre-66 is still led by Alan Greenhaw. As Harvey back up the inside, he's not finished yet. Side by side with Stephen Primet. Primet goes wide over the curb. giving room to Tom Harvey there. They're side by side on the run up towards Hamilton's, and Harvey back ahead in the BMW by the look of it. See if he'll make that stick as they go out towards the back of the circuit. Mark Lucock still leads in the Escort. They're coming up to lap Steve Evans in the Austin A40. They'll be hoping he doesn't get in the way. We don't very often see much lap traffic here at Snetterton, purely because it is such a long lap. There's our pre-66 leader, Alan Greenhaw, based near London with his Ford Falcon. Piers Grange in the Mustang still behind him. Up towards the checkered flag they come. Here they come over the line. It is Mark Lucock who takes the win just ahead of Stephen Primmitt. Couldn't quite get the toe there. And Tom Harvey in the BMW is third. David Howard is fourth. Simon Jepp's a good fifth. And here is the man who's going to win the pre-66 category. He's behind Mark Chollerton. A great effort from 25th on the grid in his Escort up to 6th. But the pre-66 championship split is going to be won by Alan Greenhaw. Here he comes in the Ford Falcon. The Class A cars didn't go to Cadwell, not suited to the big V8s, the twisty Lincolnshire circuit, but Snetterton perfect for them. And Alan Greenhaw is going to come in 7th overall to win the pre-66 category. Mark Chollerton an excellent 6th in his Escort. Greenhaw 7th, and Piers Grange just under a second behind Greenhaw in 8th place. It's going to be Duncan Leffley in his Volkswagen Golf in 9th, ahead of Malcolm Best in the Capri. OK, as the last few runners come in, I think we can already throw down to Parc Ferme with Ian Waterhouse to talk to our race winner.
Well, the classic touring cars, wonderful stuff there from the pre-66 and 83s as well. Mark Lucock picking up the win. Denny, let's grab a quick word with him. Mark, let's have a quick work. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Close though, wasn't it? I think it was 1.5 seconds between the top three over the line.
There wasn't much in it really, and if anybody made a clean lap, they just edged away, and if they messed up slightly on a corner, all pulled it back in again.
It's a long old lap here though, isn't it? So plenty of opportunities.
It's a long lap, and obviously the BMW's got legs on you as well, so I was conscious of that. I was just trying to get a clear exit really, so it wasn't maybe my smoothest race, but anyway, we got there.
Well, it wasn't because you didn't start on pole either, so you must be delighted.
Yeah, I am. I mean, you never know how it's going to shake out, do you, after the first corner coming into the hairpin, but it worked to my advantage, and I was able to get a good exit, and here we go.
Alan Greenhaw, let's grab a quick word with Alan again, because of course he did win his pre-66 class, didn't he? So, Alan, congratulations. But it was close in the end, wasn't it?
Well, it was close. Luckily, Piers missed a gear and just gave me a little bit of an opportunity, so I snuck through and I was able to keep it there. So it seemed to be going a lot better than it was in qualifying. I think it's because I'd probably woken up.
Well, yeah, look, we know it's hard to get past this. It is rather large, isn't it? What's it like going through the corners?
Well, it's still quite slippery, especially our first race after the trucks. Yeah. You know, you get all sorts of stuff, diesel and soot and all sorts of stuff. But anyway, that was all right.
Well, thanks very much, Ian. Well done to our touring car racers there. Our next race today, the Classic Touring Car Racing Club Pre-93 and Pre-2003 touring cars. So we'll take you through the grid for the Laser Tools Pre-93 touring cars and the Simply Serviced Pre-03 touring cars. In pole position it is David Griffin with the Diet Coke BMW, number 34, alongside number 90 Ian Bauer, also in a BMW M3. The first of the Pre-03 cars on the second row, we've got 191 Gary Preble with his Honda Civic and 148 Don Hughes, he's in a Peugeot 306. Third row, 169 Ross Craig, a winner at Cadwell, alongside 33 Andy Cripps, he's in a BMW. That's Pre-03 and Pre-93 on row 3. The fourth row, number 5 Mark Fowler, BMW, and 86 Robert May, who we just heard from, he's in a Toyota Corolla AE86 Coupe, more famous as a drift car of course. Row 5, 52 David Nixon with the Rover Tomcat, who we just heard from, and 99 Jake Margulies. Now he's meant to be out in Father David's Alfa Romeo, but we saw that have trouble in the Pre-83 race, so he may not be there. We'll wait and see. Row 6, Daniel Stewart, number 128, he's in a Jaguar XJS, and 27 Scott Smith with a Renault Clio. Row 7, 77 Luke Bennett, he's in a Honda Integra, and 38 James Everard in the ex-Roger Stanford BMW E30 M3, the Fina liveried car, very beautiful car that one. Row 8, 214 Andy Abrams, and 114 who we heard from there, Steve Barber, pair of Honda Civics. Row 9, we've got 192 John Hillier, He is in his unusual BMW E36 estate car, yes, the E36 Touring, alongside 88 Alan Hersey, not in his usual Reliance Scimitar this weekend. He's in a BMW Compact. Behind them, on row 10 rather, we've got Pete Winstone, number 39, in a VW Vento, rare car these days, and Trevor Kiffin, number 75, with his Alfa Romeo 75. Number 6, Steve Walden is next. He's in a BMW E30. And completing the grid, we should have the Laser Tools BMW of the man we saw the interview with earlier, 56 Andy Sheraton. He qualified out of session, so it doesn't appear on the grid sheet, but he should be there at the back of the grid. Just waiting for the all clear, and away they go. Down towards the first corner then. It's not a great start by David Griffin. It's Ian Bauer in the Castrol liveried BMW who takes the lead. Not the best of starts for Gary Preble. He was boxed in behind David Griffin. As they make their way around the first corner, it is Ian Bauer who leads the way. Don Hughes in the Peugeot 306 is in second place. They swing their way through the hairpin for the first time, and Andy Cripps with a good start. He's up into third place and sliding wide there. Well, it's an AE86, isn't it, the Corolla, so you'd expect it to be sideways, the drift car. But number 90, Ian Bauer, the Castrol liveried BMW, leads Don Hughes. Cripps in third. Mark Fowler's yellow BMW up to fourth, and David Griffin, a poor start there, down to sixth. Behind Gary Preble. Don Hughes leads the Pre-03 split. And there's the black and white, almost dazzle liveried Civic of Ross Craig in there as well. Scored his first ever win at Cadwell Park. Then a gap back to the AE86 Corolla, the Hachiroku as it's known in drifting circles. Or drifting slides, I should say, not circles. Don Hughes going for the lead here. The man from Andover in Hampshire in his Peugeot 306. And Ian Bauer's made a bit of a mistake there on the run into Oggies, and he's been bamboozled there, I think, by Don Hughes. They're side by side. The power of the BMW keeps him alongside, though. Griffin's got ahead of Preble. Have a look a bit further back. There's Rob May in the Corolla, David Nixon's Rover, the E30 M3 of John Everard. A real variety of cars further back. There's that unusual E36 Touring of John Hillier, the BMW estate, and the other E30, number 6, at the back is Steve Walden. Somebody kicking up some dust there. As the leaders come through, it's still Bauer ahead of Hughes. Griffin's back up into third because Andy Cripps made a bit of a mistake through the complex there. He's dropped back a couple of spots. Gary Preble's got through as well. So the order starting to re-establish itself after that shuffle off the start line. Daniel Stewart's dropped back a bit in the Jaguar XJS there. It's Ian Bauer who leads. And David Griffin nearly hit the back of Don Hughes there. The power of the BMW carrying him up onto the back of the Peugeot 306. There might be a little bit of fluid down there actually from the previous session, I can just about see there. So a little bit slidey as they come into Murray's. So Ian Bauer in the Castrol BMW, the replica of the cars used in the Italian Championship in the 1990s. Emanuele Naspetti was the top name in those. Now watch for Gary Preble there, the bewinged Civic going for the outside of David Griffin. They were fighting for the win in this combined grid at Cadwell as well. They're closing up on Don Hughes in the Peugeot 306. Now, is he in the same class as Gary Preble? No, he's not in Pre-03, so Preble doesn't need to pass him necessarily. He's side by side with Griffin, though. Gary Preble, he and his brother Adam, regular races at Castle Coob in Wiltshire over the years. They won the one circuit saloon car title many times. There's Trevor Kiffin's Alfa Romeo towards the back of the field, the Alfa 75, and Preble has got through there into third. Andy Cripps is fifth, then Mark Fowler. Seventh is Ross Craig. And in eighth place is John Everard's BMW M3, the E30. He's gained 5 places on the first lap. Here comes Preble. This is the lead in the Simply Serviced Pre-03 touring cars, with Ian Bauer in the clear up front. Now, David Griffin, the Australian-born driver, hasn't lost many races this year, but he made a very poor start, dropped from pole to 6th place, a rare struggle off the line for him. Here's a battle further back. There's that BMW Compact, Alan Hersey. Normally races a Reliance Scimitar in Classic Thunder events in the Monster Energy liveried car there, chased by Andy Sheraton. He did make it out in the Laser Tools E30. And look, Gary Preble's got past Don Hughes there, up into second place overall and leading the Pre-03s. Mark Fowler, a bit of a power slide through Nelson's there, the yellow BMW. They're both Southampton residents, in fact, these two. Preble getting a bit Bauer rather getting a bit sideways out of the hairpin. Preble more stable. He's up alongside. He's going to take the lead as they go into Palmer's. He's done it. Great driving by Gary Preble. Now, has Ian Bauer got a problem, I wonder? Through the right-hander at Oggies, it's still the Peugeot, and Ian Bauer sliding again. There's something amiss with the handling of that car, and he's lost out to David Griffin. Whether it's tyres or whether there's something awry in the rear suspension possibly, but Ian Bauer is having real trouble handling that BMW, and he's down to 4th now behind David Griffin, his fellow front row starter. Through towards the checkered flag they come then. It's going to be a win for Gary Preble. Who is going to be second though? Don Hughes or David Griffin? Well, David Griffin's going to win the pre-93 split, but it's going to be a win in the pre-03s and overall for Gary Preble in his Honda Civic. Can David Griffin get second place overall on the run towards the checkered flag? It's going to be a win for Gary Preble in the Honda. He takes the win. Second goes to Don Hughes. David Griffin is third, and David Griffin has got a 10-second penalty showing on the timing screen. We know not why, unfortunately, but he does still get third place because Ian Bauer was so far back from him. The pre-03 cars coming in first and second for a change. Just under a second in it at the flag between Preble and Don Hughes. David Griffin, despite receiving a penalty there, still gets third place ahead of Ian Bauer. Griffin wins the pre-93 split. James Everard, not Sir John, I apologise there, taking 5th place in his BMW. Mark Fowler in 6th, then 7th Ross Craig, Rob May in 8th, Daniel Stewart topping a good fight there for 9th place ahead of Luke Bennett and Scott Smith. Just behind them, Andy Abrams beating Andy Sheraton home for 12th place. Steve Barber was 14th, and Alan Hersey completing the top 15 in his BMW Compacts. Behind them, 16th went to the BMW Touring of John Hillier. Pete Winstone's VW Vento was next home ahead of Steve Walden, then Trevor Kiffin, the final finisher. We lost David Nixon and Andy Cripps. We can hand down to Ian in Parc Fermé to hear from our race wins.
Right, everybody, welcome down to Parc Fermé. I'm joined by a very, very happy Gary Preble. Gary, congratulations. But it wasn't so easy, was it? You were just telling me.
Oh no, it was a mental race. Qualified third, and obviously off the line, Griffin got a really poor start, and I just had nowhere to go. I was stuck behind him and just tried to stick my nose up in front, but he had it covered. And yeah, he was just all over the place and just seemed really slow off the offset, which quite surprised me. And I just couldn't get by him, and everyone else was going around the outside of me, and I'm thinking, oh, here we go. I'm down in
like David, that is it?
Yeah, no, I'm like down into 5th place at one point, I think, and I'm thinking this is going to be hard work, and just slowly picked him off, and Hughes, and that put up a fantastic race. Absolutely mega, and then obviously finally caught Bauer and the other BM, and he was just hanging it out everywhere, and I could just see his tyres slowly going. I'm just thinking, okay, I knew the race was shortened, and then I started picking up problems of my own. The 6th gear wouldn't select in, so I only could hold it in 5th. And I'm going down the back straight, and I have to sort of give it everything in 5th, and then sort of backing off, and then giving it a bit more.
It's got to be tough around at Snetterton.
Oh, you really need 6th gear around here, and unfortunately I haven't got it. But so yeah, race 2 tomorrow is going to be really interesting, as we're going to have to just try and do the same again and
you can get
hold them off. And
6 for tomorrow.
Oh, it's a lot of work, and it's a special machine, little collet that sits on the gear. So,
right.
But absolutely enjoyed the race. Mega race.
Well done. Look,
Thank
big
you.
trophy on your car now as well. Look.
Well,
okay, let's grab David Griffin here. David, I did say we were going to be chatting in Parc Fermé. That was quite eventful, wasn't it?
Well, they just asked me to open my bonnet. That could be the most eventful part of the whole day.
There was a little exclamation mark by your name on TSL. So.
Was there? Was there?
Don't ask me what for.
Right, out of that top 4 or 5, there'd be an exclamation point next to everyone's name. There was some pretty wild stuff going on out there. I fluffed every single component of the start. Spun it up, missed a gear, got on the wrong line into turn 2, missed another gear coming out, and it was a bit of a fight back from 5th. Yeah. And I'd love to say that we just care about winning the pre-93s, but we don't. We want to get in front of the pre-03 guys as well.
You've got to have a chance tomorrow, mate.
Yeah.
Well done. I'm going to stand back whilst he opens his bonnet up. There we go. Wait for it. Woof.
Well, the big cats have been unleashed from their lair then, and it is time for the Jaguar Enthusiast Club Saloon and GT Championship, their first of 2 races this weekend. It'll be a 14-minute race. The grid lines up as follows. In pole position will be number 4, of Tom Robinson in the Class D car. 4 classes here, classes A, B, C and D, depending on how modified the car is. Class D, the fully race modified cars. Tom Robinson starts from pole alongside number 58 Tom Lenthal. He's in Derek Pearce's Jaguar XK8 for this race. More on that a little bit later. Row 2, number 97 Lawrence Coppock. He's an XJS, and Rick Walker with his XJS on row 2 in car 54. Row 3, the championship leader 24 Michael Seaborn and number 28 of Daniel Stewart. Row 4, 144 Cliff Ryan and number 5 Simon Dunford. And on the 5th row, 45 David Ringham and 114 Stephen Anderson. Those last 3 Class A cars, they're the road standard cars. I've got 3 cars in Class B, 4 cars in Class B as well. Tom Lenthal, Rick Walker, Michael Seaborn and Daniel Stewart. No Class C cars this weekend. Class D for the race modified machines, Tom Robinson, Lawrence Coppock and Cliff Ryan. Well, I think we've got a couple of interviews from earlier on down in the paddock. We'll pick those up in a second.
Right, everybody, welcome down to the assembly area. Now, if anybody knows me, you'll know I have a bit of a thing about Jaguars, so I'm kind of in heaven a little bit right now. What we're going to do is go chat to the man on pole position. It is Tom Robinson, of course. Tom, congratulations, first of all. I haven't actually had a chance to catch up with you yet. So some lap in qualifying.
Yeah, really happy. Yeah, a little bit low on grid numbers, but a bit of a shame we haven't got James Ram and Colin here. But no, really pleased with the lap time. Quickest lap I've ever done here. So yeah, great result.
What is it about Jaguars? Come on.
Probably the fact they're not designed to do this.
They're huge, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly that, and that's why I love it. Just because it's not something you see racing every day, and it just adds to the part of fun.
They're sensational and so long as well. Honestly, it's like a ship, isn't it? Best of luck, Tom. Let's go. We've got an XK8 here as well, XJS. Oh my word! And just have a look at this bonnet. How long is this? I'm 5'7". I reckon this bonnet is 5'8". That's how big they are. Let's go chat to some more of the drivers. Enough about me. 54 over here. Let's go have a quick word. The green machine itself. You heard me. Dave, how you doing? The green machine itself, I've just called it there. What do you call it?
Definitely the lean green racing machine. That's the one. Formula One Jag, as you said. So,
how are we feeling ahead of the race?
Yeah, good actually. I've got a bit of a misfire, so it's going to be a difficult one. We're 4 of us here, pretty close on time. We're all within a second, I think, of each other. So, yeah. Should be some interesting racing. Should be a little bit close, but. Just depends how this misfire goes. I've got a coil pack going down and it's creating some problems for me, so I might have to stay on the tail of a few of them.
It looks to me in here, you can't quite see on the camera, there's a few switches. It looks very James Bond in here. I think there might be some missiles and some fog coming out the back.
We had to put lights and indicators back on for this year, for this series of the CTCRC now, so we're semi-road legal as it is.
So you could almost drive it home on the M25.
Yeah, well, you don't drive anywhere on the M25 these days. It's just one big parking lot. So.
Best of luck. Thanks for that. Enjoy the race, won't you? There we go. We've got a good friend of mine, actually, Mike Seaborn, just up here as well. Let's just quickly say hello before heading off. We haven't got a huge amount of time left. Mike, you know my love for Jags. I'm in heaven here. But I know your car very, very well. How's it running today?
Yeah, the car's great. The driver, not so much. I had a few too many sherries last night and still suffering.
You looked all right this morning, when mind you, your eyes were a bit bloodshot.
Yeah, it was. This morning was not pleasant. It was not fun. Yeah, it's a shame we got a bit of a depleted field today. Really, I think Goodwood's. A lot of the guys have got Mark IIs and Mark I's and the like. So it's not going to be full Jag carnage today. Not quite, but I've got some cars I need to chase down, so I'm going to try and make it as close as possible.
It still makes a good sight, doesn't it? It makes a crank sight. Best of luck,
always.
Right, there you go. Now it is time for the Jaguars to take to the track. So let's hand over to your commentator, Dave Goddard, to take you through the action. It's going to be a cracker.
It certainly is, yes, thanks Ian. We are underway with our first race of the weekend for the Jaguar Saloon and GT Championship. Tom Robinson in number 4 out in front, looking to make up for a non-finish in the previous round at Cadwell. He spun while leading into the tyre wall, the wet conditions catching him out. He actually qualified this morning 8.5 seconds quicker than everyone else, so I think Tom Robinson's going to race off into the sunset here with his XJR6. Now, Tom Lenthal in second place, driving car number 58 this weekend. I'll tell you about Tom Lenthal here. We normally see him in number 7 in a different class in his XJS. He's borrowed Derek Pearce's XK8 for this weekend, and the reason is he's trying to take points off Michael Seaborn for the championship lead, because he's in Class B. They're both in Class B this weekend, so he's trying to beat Michael Seaborn. tactics here from Tom Lenthal to try and even the championship up a bit. Michael Seaborn dodges about there on the tail of Rick Walker. He's having a look in the XJ40. You wouldn't necessarily think of the XJ40 as a race car, but Michael Seaborn drives that car with some aplomb. The Castrol liveried car there. He's going to have a go here out of the bomb hole, up the inside, side by side, and he's going to get through on the inside. So it's Castrol against Jaguar Formula One there, up towards the checkered flag. Total dominance from Tom Robinson up to the checkered flag, and he takes the win. Number 4 takes it, Tom Robinson. He should be number 2468 with a name like that, shouldn't he? Let's have a look at the provisional result then. Tom Robinson the winner by 40.4 seconds ahead of Tom Lenthal, who wins Class B. Lawrence Coppock holding off Michael Seaborn for 3rd overall. Rick Walker in 5th place ahead of Daniel Stewart, 3rd and 4th in Class B behind Seaborn. Then Cliff Ryan 7th and 3rd in Class D. Simon Dunford just won Class A ahead of David Ringham. Steve Anderson completing the 10 finishers. Well, great race there, but dominated by one man, Tom Robinson. We can go down to Parc Fermé to hear from him with Ian Waterhouse in a second.
Well, did you hear the sound that Tom Robinson's XJR makes? My word, that is incredible, wasn't it? What a sound. Tom, I could just listen to that all day.
Thank you.
Forget the race. I just stand there, just listen to it all day. What a sound it makes.
Unique,
how do you
isn't it?
concentrate?
Well, to be honest, that's how I drive it on the sound. I know what it's doing from what the sound is. At the
To be
front.
fair, the bonnet's so big you can't see anything in front.
No, this is it. Just point the name. Just point the name.
I mean, look, we can't get away from the fact that you won it by quite a distance there, but you still have a great time out there.
Yeah, this is it. It was a bit of a lonely race, but we had a really bad result at Cadwell, so it was nice to put the reliability back in and get a good win. So really happy.
Thanks for bringing it, because I'm going to go to bed dreaming of this car now. Cheers, Tom. Thank you very much.
Just had a slight problem with the timing screen here. Okay, let's bring you the grid then. Sorry about that. For the Thunder and Blue Oval race in pole position versus the classic Thunder car, James Card with his BMW alongside the similar machine of winner at Cadwell Park, Jason West. So an all BMW front row. The second row, number 5, Jason Hughes in his Vauxhall Vectra XPTCC car alongside the Aston Martin number 20 of Wilson and Cann. It'll be Sam Wilson driving in this race. Ricky Cann drives tomorrow. Row 3, number 66, which is Paul Wood with his BMW M3 alongside 34 David Griffin. We've already seen him out earlier on with the pre-93 touring cars with his BMW. Row 4, number 82, which is Bradley Gelman. He's in a Ford Sierra Cosworth. And 121, Colin Voice. He's in a Mark 1 Escort. He is in the Thunder Saloon Historic category. Row 5, number 26, Brian Branson, another BMW, and 75, Arthur Throttle. He's in a Chevy Camaro. Great to see him back out. I haven't seen him race for several years. Row 6 is AJ Owen. No, he's not in his usual Honda Civic this weekend. He's the first of the Blue Oval runners. He's in a Ford Sierra Cosworth. Alongside him, 71, Kevin Denwood. He's in a BMW Compact. Row 7, number 90, Ian Bauer, another familiar face from earlier on in his BMW M3. And number 27, Martin Reynolds in his Ford Anglia in the Blue Oval series. Not the same Anglia he was out in earlier on. This one is much more powerful. Then we've got row 8, number 169, Mike Chittenden, BMW. 33, Andy Cripps in another M3. Row 9, 74, Neil Philpotts with his Mitsubishi Starion. And 62 alongside him, Tom Abbott. He's in a Ford Capri, one of the Blue Oval Saloon runners. Behind them, row 10 is number 59, Dan Mackay. He's in a Ford Fiesta RS 1600. Number 70, Will Hunt in his newer Fiesta ST. Row 11, Colin Claxton, number 86. He's in a Mark 1 Escort, alongside 22, James Dunkley's very smart Ford Fiesta XR2. Row 12, number 6, Anton Martin. He's in his Escort XR3i, and 23, Joey Binks. He'll be worth watching. He's in a Sierra Cosworth. And the final row, 53, Neil Argrave in his Mark II Escort, and 787, Clive Hainsford. He's in a rotary engine Mazda RX-8, but it's a very non-standard RX-8, that one. May have had some problems in qualifying, so he's there at the back. We've got a couple of additions to the back of the grid as well that are not on the graphic there. Number 72, Stuart Place, was a late addition in his Mark I Escort, and also James Everard in his E30 M3 is out in this race as well. Getting ready to rumble then, the Edmondson Electrical Classic and Historic Thunder Saloons and the Burton Power Blue Oval Saloons. What a grid we've got here for this 14-minute race here at Snetterton. An all BMW front row. James Card and Jason West were underway. They thunder down towards Riches for the first time, and James Card is who takes a look at Bradley Gelman up the inside there in the Sierra Cosworth. He almost gets into third place on the inside. Here come the BMWs. James Card, regular in the Kumho Tyres BMW Championship for many years, has the lead ahead of Jason West. Had a win with that BMW at Cadwell Park in the last round. Bradley Gelman's now slid wide at the hairpin. He's dropped back again after that very fast start. Dan Mackay's Fiesta lifting a wheel there, but it's James Card, the Derbyshire driver, who leads from Jason West. Jason Hughes in the ex-Jason Plato Vauxhall Vectra. Too many Jasons involved here. And there's Mike Chittenden's incredible BMW, chasing Neil Philpotts in the Mitsubishi Starion Turbo. These big Thunder Saloons, fast but often fragile. We'll see how well they last the distance. Card leads it. I know he's been having electrical gremlins with that car this season. Through Hamilton up towards Oggies. Chased by Jason West in the underscore BMW. He wants another outright win. He took race 2 at Cadwell. Race 1 was won by Andy Wilson, the man from the northeast. He failed to start race 2 with a problem. Hughes third. Sam Wilson's big Aston Martin V8 in fourth place. There's Paul Wood in the Kevin Denwood rather in the BMW Compact chasing hard. Just so many wonderful cars out there. Tricky to know which to talk about. Somebody's run wide there. Tom Abbott's Capri that was coming out of Williams' corner. There's Bradley Gelman. I think it's Brian Bransom in the orange BMW. Almost 3 wide there. The Anglia hot rod of Martin Reynolds trying to move up the inside. He's got a whole collection of classic Fords, everything from a classic Anglia from the 60s up to a Mach 1 Mustang, but the safety car is coming out. The safety car is coming out for the first time today. Yes, we're under green once again, and away they go down towards the first corner. James Card will have the lead ahead of Jason West. Sam Wilson in the Aston Martin using the grunt of the V8 to get ahead of Jason Hughes in the Vectra, but it's James Card that leads the way. Racing alongside his late father Roger in BMWs for a number of years as well. Jason Hughes in there, Bradley Gelman sliding the Cosworth there. Great to watch. Where's Martin Reynolds going? Back to Wisbeach, I think. He went straight on there at the hairpin. It's Colin Voice in the Escort ahead of Bradley Gelman. Then we've got Brian Bransom in the orange BMW. Here comes Sam Wilson, the big Aston Martin, dodging about on the tail of Jason Hughes. It won't bother Jason too much. They're in different classes, those two. The Aston gets through into third place. Colin Voice up there in fifth. He's leading the historic class. Many different classes in this field, of course. We haven't really got time to go through all of them. There's a green flag there. That's presumably because it's just the first lap of the restart. Look at the flames there at the back of Bradley Gelman. Racing at dusk like this is always so much more spectacular. With the light beginning to fade, the cars almost seem to go faster. Here comes Bransom. He's going to go round the outside on the exit of Coram. On the brakes, through at Murray's, through goes the BMW. There's AJ Owen, the blue and yellow Cosworth. He's ahead of Neil Philpotts and Kevin Denwood. Oh, and Clive Hainsford pulling into the pits. The RX-8 is out. As we race into the sunset here at Snetterton, and now Jason's got the headlights on, so's James Card. He's warning the back markers that they're closing in. Get out of the way, says James Card. I'm trying to win this race. Which way are they going to go? Here come the BMWs. Anton Martin gets out of the way. Has Stuart Place seen them? Oh, Martin didn't see Jason West there. He goes onto the grass to get out of the way. This is going to be close. Has that cost Jason West his chance? I don't think he's quite going to do it. I don't think he's going to catch James Card. It's going to be a lights to flag for the silver BMW. I think he's done enough. Here they come, the class of the field, these two in the Edmondson Electrical classic and historic Thunder Saloons up towards the line. It's going to be a win for James Card. A BMW 1-2. Card wins it from West by 0.635 of a second. Third goes to Sam Wilson in the Aston Martin. He's some 11 seconds down. Fourth is Jason Hughes. He's still unbeaten in his class, still leads the championship. Brian Bransom's BMW is fifth. And here comes Colin Voice's beautiful Escort in to take sixth position. Let's confirm the result of that one then. James Card leading home a BMW 1-2. Good race with Jason West. They finished 0.6 of a second apart. Card got the fastest lap. Sam Wilson third in the big Aston Martin ahead of Jason Hughes. He wins his class. Brian Bransom taking fifth place in his BMW ahead of Colin Voice winning his historic class. Then Paul Wood. AJ Owen wins the Blue Oval Saloon Split in his Sierra. Then the Mitsubishi Starion of Neil Philpotts. And Kevin Denwood's BMW rounds out the top 10. James Everard next home, coming through from the back ahead of Ian Bauer. Then Martin Reynolds, second Blue Oval at home. Tom Abbott third in that division, ahead of James Dunkley in the XR2. Outside the top 15, next home was Will Hunt in his Fiesta ST. Then Colin Claxton's Escort, Dan Mackay, they had a good scrap all race long. Next home, Stuart Place's Mark 1 Escort and Anton Martin's XR3i. A lap down, we lost Brad Gelman and Clive Hainsford, and Mike Chittenden all pulled into the pits, and Joey Binks retired the Duckham's Cosworth on the first lap. Right, while I get my breath back, we'll hand you down to Ian in Parc Ferme.
Well, what another fantastic race, wasn't it? I'm absolutely breathless. Let's go have a quick chat with some of the drivers. We've got James Card over here, your race winner. Let's go have a look. He's got a trophy in hand already. Look at that. James, Jason, don't go far as well, boys. My word, that was some racing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good fun. It was good fun. Safety car restart, and we're very evenly matched in these cars, so it was great. I got a little bit at first, then you caught me back in, and then I was struggling at the end actually, so quite happy to hang on.
So another lap or two, you might have got him, eh? You never know, right?
Absolutely. It's always just one more lap. When you catch it, just one more lap. Don't throw that flag, and you're there going, oh.
Or was he sandbagging? Did he have a bit more pace? What do you reckon? Or does it say in the eyes?
No, in the middle I was all right, but at the end I was like, oh, hang on, this is getting a bit closer. That bumper's getting bigger in my mirror. So no, there was not much more pace in it at all.
I'll tell you what, guys, I was just stood down here listening to these cars come by. My word, how fast are you going down this start-finish straight?
This straight, it's about 132. Yeah. On the back straight, it's about 140 we hit before we throw the anchor out. No, we're not hanging her out.
Getting ready for our next race then here at Snetterton, coming up in just a few moments' time. The Classic Touring Car Racing Club Pre-66 and Pre-83 touring cars running on a combined grid. The grid based on the race they had yesterday. They line up as follows. It's an all Mark 1 Escort front row. Number 18, Mark Lucock, yesterday's winner, and I believe leading the Pre-83 Championship as a result of that now. Alongside number 67, multiple champion Stephen Primet. Second row, 78, Thomas Harvey, not in his usual Escort. He's in Mike Luck's BMW E21, with Mike unable to race this weekend. Thomas Harvey has taken over that car. Starting alongside David Howard in his Jaguar XJ12, number 55. The third row, number 4, we just heard from Simon Jeffs with his Akai Hi-Fi liveried Volkswagen Golf GTI, alongside 81 Mark Cholerton in the Mark II Escort RS2000. Came through from 25th on the grid to finish 6th yesterday. Then we've got the first of the Pre-66 cars on row 4, 77, yesterday's winner Alan Greenhaw in the Ford Falcon. 65 Piers Grange is in a very beautiful Ford Mustang. Fifth row, 42 Duncan Leffley, he's in another Golf, alongside 43 Malcolm Best with the Capri. Row 6, Alan Wayman, 28, in the Chevy Camaro, alongside 73 Robin Slater, he's in a Ford Anglia, third of the Pre-66 cars. Row 7, 122 Tony Palmer, he's in a Rover SD1, and 86 Colin Claxton. He's got a couple of cars here this weekend. See him out in the Blue Oval Saloons as well, but he's in his Triumph Dolomite Sprint in this race. Row 8, 63 Kevin Swan and 27 Martin Reynolds, a pair of Ford Anglias. Row 9, a pair of Minis, number 12 Nathan Williams, 5 Andy Mesham. Then on row 10 behind them we have 641, which is Peter Millington, his Hillman Avenger, alongside number 6 Anton Martin. He's in a Ford Escort Mark III. Row 11 at 64 Keith Evans with an Alfa Romeo Alfa Sud. At 69 Luke Wilson in an Austin A40. Row 12 is number 118, which is Nathan Beresford, BMW 1800 Ti for him. And number 26, a car shared by 2 drivers. It's driven in this race by Brian Bedford, taking over his Austin A40 from Steve Evans, who raced yesterday. Row 13, we've got a couple of cars that failed to finish yesterday's race. Number 11, Roger Stanford. He's in his Lotus Cortina, double winner from Cadwell Park. Watch for him coming through. And number 49, Mark Osborne with the Triumph Dolomite Sprints. And at the back, we've got number 85, Jonathan Corker with his little Datsun 510. And 99, David Margulies with the Alfa Romeo GTV 6. Wait to see if those cars are there, the 4 cars that didn't finish yesterday's race. Cars on the grid then, ready for our first classic touring car race of this Sunday at Snetterton. The pre-83 and pre-66 touring cars. The red lights are out and away they go. Racing over 15 minutes up towards the first corner. Super start by Tom Harvey, trying to get the BMW through the middle, but it's David Howard in the Jaguar round the outside from 4th on the grid, takes the lead into the first corner at Riches, and this very mixed field of cars chases its way into that first corner. Now, who's got the lead? It looks like it is Thomas Harvey who's got through on the inside. The BMW, normally raced by Mike Luck, leads the way. David Howard second. The 2 Escorts rather caught napping from the front row there. This mixture of classic machinery heads round. Wilson's hairpin for the first time. There's Keith Evans, a little Alfa Sud, number 64, but it's the BMW driven by Thomas Harvey. Leads the way. Very quick young racer, normally seen in a Mark 1 Escort, trying out the BMW this weekend. There's Mark Osborne. He's already made up several places. Started from the back after failing to finish yesterday. Simon Jeffs in there in the Golf. They start to sort themselves out. Alan Greenhaw leading the pre-66 splits. As we said, 1 extra car at the back. Keith Wright, number 68 there, the Morris Minor. He missed yesterday's race. That car rebuilt after a crash at Cadwell on Bank Holiday Monday. As the leaders head down into Oggies. Here they come in towards Williams Corner. Thomas Harvey drifts the BMW through there. David Howard second, Lucock third, then Primet, Jeffs and Cholerton. Then the 2 big V8 engine beasts of Greenhall and Grange. Robin Slater behind them. Mark Osborne is throwing that black Dolomite Sprint around. He's really moving up the order in the early stages. Side by side for the lead. David Howard using the grunt of the Jaguar to try and get alongside. And Tom Harvey cuts the corner slightly there, coming into Brundle. Bit of rallycross there from the BMW man. Has he held that together? Yes, he has. He's still got the lead. Mark Lucock in third. Then we have got Stephen Primet. Alan Greenhall. Could he take the lead, I wonder, this weekend of the pre-66 championship? Could be in with a chance, because James Ibbotson, the championship leader with his Hillman Imp, is not here. In fact, I don't think we've got any Hillman Imps here at all, which is a great shame. We normally see 3 of them. No Freddie Brown due to the engine being broken in his, and I don't think Michael Loveland's here either. Start to come up over the line then to complete the first lap, and it is Tom Harvey who has got the lead ahead of Howard, Lucock and Primet. You can see some damage on the left side of Mark Lucock's car there, bit of panel damage. That's from Cadwell Park. In the last round he spun into a tyre wall while fighting for the lead. He's fighting David Howard here, the Berkshire businessman, at the wheel of his number 55 Jaguar. Up the inside, Mark Lucock into Murray's. That's a brave move on the brakes, and he's through. Slightly more nimble handling, the Mark 1 Escort, than the big Jaguar. We'll see the Jaguar Championship out later on, of course. David Howard, though, not part of the full Jaguar Championship. He uses the power of the XJ12 to pull back ahead of Lucock there on the straights. Next through it'll be the pre-66 runners. I think Mark Osborne has got ahead of them. Yes, there goes the Triumph Dolomite we caught a glimpse of there. So from the back of the grid he's up to 7th. There is Osborne, number 49, a former champion. He's had a big rivalry with Stephen Primet over the years. Here comes Lucock up the inside, under braking for Brundle. No, you don't, says David Howard. I might, says Stephen Primet. Yeah, I'll go up the inside here at Nelson. Side by side between the 2 Escorts. They had such a great battle yesterday. Lucock moves across, holds third through the bomb hole. So we've lost Palmer, we've lost Roger Stanford's Lotus Cortina as well. David Howard, Stephen Primet. Primet up the inside, he's got 3rd position this time into Rich's corner. Harvey leads by 3.6 seconds now, the BMW. There he goes, out of the hairpin, as David Howard goes into the hairpin. Primet is third, a multiple champion in the pre-83s. Mike Luck, the reigning champion, as we said, normally races this car, but not able to race this weekend, so young Thomas Harvey has taken over. And for second in class behind Tom Harvey. Oh, David Howard's run wide. The Escort's up the inside. I wonder if the Jaguar is struggling with its brakes. It often does, especially in fairly warm conditions. Now, what's that done to the Escort battle? Because he was ahead of them there, and Lukoc has got back ahead into third place. They were nearly 3 wide through the hairpin. Mark Lukoc back up to third, Stephen Primet down to fourth. There's the leader. 2.7 seconds the lead for Tom Harvey, looking for his first win in Mike Luck's BMW. Mark Lukoc sliding the Escort there. Has he got some sort of a problem? David Howard's gone wide as well. This is all playing into the hands of Stephen Primet. I wonder if their tyres are going off, or maybe it is the brakes. Through comes Stephen Primet. He's up into second place ahead of Howard. And we've got a red flag. The red flag is coming out. Now, presumably, that's because of that stranded Alfa Romeo of Keith Evans. But the red flags have come out, race being stopped, and there's 2 minutes 21 seconds to go. So I suspect that'll be a result declared and taken back a lap. So that could be good fortune for David Howard, because if they take it back to the last completed lap, there's the reason Keith Evans' Alfa Romeo stopped on the edge of the circuit. Okay, so we'll confirm the provisional results of that one, surely, because the race is going to be declared, I think. So Tom Harvey, the winner. This is the last completed lap, so this is only provisional. David Howard second, Stephen Primet third, and Mark Lukoc fourth is how the battle finished provisionally. Simon Jeffs in the Golf fifth, ahead of Mark Chullerton. Mark Osborne, good efforts come through from the back of the grid for seventh. And the pre-66 winner provisionally is Alan Greenhaw in eighth place ahead of Piers Grange at the Battle of the American Fords. Mark Best, another Ford, the Capri, rounds out the top 10 ahead of Colin Claxton in the Dolly Sprints. Then we've got Al Wayman's Camaro, Robin Slater, third of the pre-66 cars in his Anglia, winning the class ahead of the similar Anglia of Kevin Swan. Then we've got Nathan Williams in his Mini Cooper, rounding out the top 15. Behind them, we've got Martin Reynolds ahead of Peter Millington, then the Mini of Mesham, Brian Bedford's Austin A40 ahead of the similar machine of Luke Wilson for a class win, Nathan Beresford a class winner in his BMW, and the final finisher provisionally is Keith Wright. We lost Keith Evans, Anton Martin with his Escort, Tony Palmer's Rover SD1, and as we saw, Roger Stanford in the Lotus Cortina. That result is provisional for the moment. It may be changed due to the red flag. And we can now go down to Parc Fermé with Ian Waterhouse.
Right, everybody, welcome down to Parc Fermé. We never like to end a race on a red flag, do we? But one man who is all smiles, we've just seen him actually. It is Tom Harvey, of course, picking up the race. But let's go grab a quick word with him. Tom would never like to win under red flags, but it looks like you're in control anyway. Talk us through that.
Sorry, I'll take my lid off.
Yeah, take your helmet off. There you go. There we go. We can hear you now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was superb. Absolutely brilliant. Got a bit of a lump in the throat.
Oh, well, congratulations.
First win.
First ever win?
Yeah, first ever win, yeah.
How does it feel then? Tell me, how are you feeling right now? Let it out.
I can't describe it. If I let it out, I'll start bawling my eyes out, wouldn't I?
Feel free.
But yeah, brilliant race. I've got a wonderful start. Probably best start of my career. Got round the outside of Dave in the Jag, who was blisteringly quick off the line. And then just built a gap, built a good gap, and I felt in control. The car's just an absolute dream to drive. It's Mike Luck's car. I'm borrowing it for the weekend just to help him out. But yeah, just something else.
You got a message from Mark if he's watching right now?
Yeah. Like thanks to Mike, he's down in the pit lane. He's clapping when I come in. So yeah, that's one for Mike.
Go on, congratulations, well done, mate. I can see it means a lot. That it really does. How nice is that to see?
Welcome back to Full Throttle here at the Snetterton 300 circuit with the Classic Touring Car Racing Club. Next up on track, it is the Pre-93 touring car sponsored by Laser Tools, and the Pre-03 touring car sponsored by Simply Serviced. BMWs will be to the fore in Pre-93 and Hondas in Pre-03. In pole position, it will be yesterday's winner, number 191, which is Gary Preble in his Honda Civic, alongside 148 Don Hughes in the Peugeot 306. Pre-93 winner yesterday on the second row, David Griffin, number 34, as you just heard, with the Diet Coke liveried BMW. The Australian winning that despite a penalty for jumping the start. Alongside him will be number 90, Ian Bauer, looking for his second Pre-93 championship this year. Row 3, James Everard with the E30 BMW M3. Alongside him, number 5, another E36 M3 of Mark Fowler, number 5. On the fourth row, 169, Ross Craig with his Honda Civic, came home in 7th despite a steering problem yesterday. Alongside Robert May, number 86, in the Corolla. Row 5, 128, Daniel Stewart, he's in a Jaguar XJS, alongside Luke Bennett, number 77, with his Honda Integra. Row 6, number 27, Scott Smith with his Renault Clio. Andy Abrams in his Honda Civic, number 214. On row 7, we should have Andy Sheraton, number 56, in there, in fact. So there is a gap on the graphics, but it is Andy Sheraton with the Laser Tools BMW, alongside 114, Steve Barber, the Lego Star Wars liveried Honda Civic, in tribute to former touring car star Tom Chilton. Row 8, we've got number 88, Alan Hersey with his BMW Compact, and 192, we've just heard from John Hillier in the BMW Estate. Row 9, 39, Peter Winstone, normally a Ford man, but in the VW Vento this weekend, alongside Steve Walden. We heard from him earlier with the orange E30 BMW. Then onto row 10, we should have Trevor Kiffin with his Alfa Romeo 75, alongside 52, David Nixon. Heard from him during the break with his Rover Tomcat Coupe. Failed to finish yesterday's race, as did the man at the back, number 33, Andy Cripps. He's there with the green BMW. Watch for him coming through from the back of the grid. Looks like everybody else is there who should be. So here we go then with our next classic touring car race. The red lights go out and away they go. Not the best of starts by David Griffin or by James Everard as they head down towards Riches for the first time. It's Gary Preble in the Honda Civic who takes the early lead. And look at Scott Smith in the Renault Clio. He's made a good start up the inside. They're a relative newcomer to racing. Round Riches they go. Watch for that green BMW of Andy Cripps from the back of the field, having retired from yesterday's race. But it's Gary Preble who leads. Throws the car into the hairpin there, side by side between the Peugeot and the BMW of Ian Bauer there for second place. Don Hughes trying to hold the inside line as they dance their way around the hairpin. There's Trevor Kiffin and Steve Walden at the back, the BMW E30 of Walden. Trevor Kiffin in the Alfa 75. Don Hughes has held second place. Ian Bauer is up to third and into the lead of the Pre-93s ahead of David Griffin. Fluffed his start a little once again, not as badly as he did yesterday. He went from pole position down into about 6th at the start of yesterday's race. Everybody through towards Agostini then. There's Mark Fowler's yellow M3 being chased by Rob May in the AE86 Corolla, more famous as a drift car than a race car. Oh, David Griffin's gone wide. That's Hamilton and James Everard up alongside him. There's contact between the two of them. That's going to put Griffin out of the race. His suspension's broken. And James Everard, is he going to be able to keep going as well? That's the end of David Griffin's race. You can see the left front suspension is broken. He won't go any further. Now that is probably going to be a safety car because he's on the track there trying to get going again. I don't think he's going to. Well, he went wide at Hamilton, and as he came back on, James Everard, I don't think knew he was there. Look at his front wheel. That's the end of David Griffin's race, and that's almost certainly going to be a safety car. Your leader is still Gary Preble. Here's the pack coming through. There's Andy Cripps in the green BMW trying to close up the Laser Tools BMW as well of Andy Sheraton, the man who got Laser Tools sponsorship for this championship. Daniel Stewart's XJS behind him. Now here come your leaders. Ian Bauer in the clear in the Pre-93 championship now in his BMW with the demise of David Griffin and James Everard. I hope James Everard has been able to keep going again, to get going again in the BMW E30 M3, the beautiful Fina liveried car. Now, can the marshals get David Griffin's car clear, and can we continue racing? We will wait and see. It's Mark Fowler in 4th and 2nd of the Pre-93s. 3rd Pre-93 is Rob May in the Corolla. He's up into 5th position. David Griffin's car is still there. There's no sign of a safety car at the moment. Marshall signalling there. I'm not sure what the signal is there, but he's signalling that we need to do something. But the race is continuing at the moment with Gary Preble in a clear lead of over 4 seconds. Don Hughes in second, and they're coming round towards Agostini and then into the right-hander at Oggies. There's yellow flags there. David Griffin's car is on the track there. I'm surprised the safety car hasn't been deployed, because David Griffin is stuck on the outside of Oggie's corner. Now the safety car is going to be deployed. David Griffin's car is getting clear, but I don't think it'll quite be in time for us to go green this time, the JS Holmes recovery vehicle. So we're likely to do another lap behind the safety car. Or are we? No, the lights have just gone out. I think they've just got it clear in time. I think we're going green this time. The lights, I think, just went out there on the safety car. Yes, he's pulling into the pit lane. Well done to the recovery team. I thought we were going to have another lap under safety car conditions there, but no, the green flag is out. The pack is unleashed. We're racing again. Well done to the JS Holmes recovery team there. Gary Preble leads them off. Don Hughes in second place. Down into Riches they go. They've already pulled clear of the pack behind them. I think the rest of the pack were rather caught out there, because the two Pre-03 cars have pulled away by at least a couple of seconds from the BMWs behind them. There's Bauer, there's Fowler, and the rest of the pack rather left behind. So Gary Preble leads, looking for 2 wins out of 2 this weekend. This will make up for a non-start in the second race at Cadwell Park. He won the first race for the Pre-03s there, but engine damage kept him out of the second race and allowed Ross Craig to win. And now roles are reversed, because Ross Craig didn't take the start in this one, had a steering issue with the Honda Civic. Great shame for him. There's Ian Bauer leading the Pre-93s in the Castrol livery car, replica of the cars used in the Italian Super Touring Championship in the 90s. There is Cripps, the green machine. It was an early retirement in yesterday's race, but he's repaired the M3. Chased by James Everard, the ex-Alfa Romeo racer. And he's going to make a move here, up the inside, coming through the bomb hole, and he goes through. Now, does that mean Cripps is in trouble again? Is the green BMW slowing again? Because that seemed like a fairly straightforward pass by James Everard there in the E30 M3. Mark Fowler under fire from the FINA BMW of James Everard. So similar to the cars that won the Spa 24 hours back in the 80s, and he's up the inside into Agostini. He goes through. Great drive by James Everard. It's not all that often, it has to be said, we see the Pre-03 cars beat the Pre-93 cars overall, but Gary Preble is going to do it twice, and it's going to be another 1-2 for the Pre-03s. Here he comes, up towards the line, and it's going to be a win for Gary Preble, 2 out of 2, and that surely all but confirms him as the Pre-2003 touring car champion this year. Second goes to Don Hughes, 2.3 seconds the margin of victory. Ian Bauer wins the Pre-93s, that puts him in pole position for the championship. And fourth is going to go to James Everard, I think, in the E30. There he goes across the line. Mark Fowler's dropped back on that last lap. He takes fifth, though, ahead of Andy Cripps. Good run through from the back of the grid. The provisional results as follows. Gary Preble the winner, and winner in Pre-03. Completing 6 laps ahead of Don Hughes by 2.39 seconds at the line. The Pre-93 winner, Ian Bauer, takes third ahead of James Everard. Great run through from him on the restarts. Take fourth in the E30. Mark Fowler completes the top 5. The top 4 all win their classes. Andy Cripps in 6th ahead of Rob May in the Corolla 7th. Scott Smith 8th ahead of Luke Bennett. And Alan Hersey rounding out the top 10. He wins his class as well. Andy Sheraton holding off the estate of John Hillier for 11th place. 13th for Steve Barber. Steve Walden is 14th. They were the only finishers, because we saw Andy Abrams a lap from home pulling into the pits in his Honda Civic. We also lost Daniel Stewart in the XJS. I think he was still running at the finish. I did see him on the Senna straight, but possibly not enough laps completed to be classified. We lost Trevor Kiffin into the pits, and of course David Griffin in that incident early on. Okay, we can now go down to Parc Ferme with Ian Waterhouse to hear from our race winner.
Right, everybody, welcome back down to Parc Ferme, and it's deja vu, isn't it? Gary, congratulations, talk us through that one.
Thank you. Yeah, a little bit different today. Obviously started from pole after a fantastic race yesterday, so we had good grid position, managed to get a great start, built up a lovely lead, and then the safety car come out and unwound all of that, so I thought, okay. And then we're on the first lap of the safety car, and I see Griffin still stranded there, and I didn't bother sort of warming the tyres up too much because I thought it was going to be another lap on the safety car. But obviously the marshals worked their magic and managed to get the car out the way in time, and it took me by surprise a little bit when the safety car actually pulled off. I thought, oh, okay, well, it's go. So Don got a fantastic start behind me, and he kept me honest. I had to really get my head down and concentrate hard for a few laps to keep him astray, and just battling with my own little issues with no sixth gear.
Still.
But just kept well away from it, lifting off on the back straight just a little bit, not too much. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the sector times, and I think we got fastest lap of the race, so absolutely chuffed.
What's it like, Gary, when you are racing, you start to build up a bit of a gap, and then the safety car wipes it out? Is it like, is it difficult to sort of get the head around that you've got to do it all again?
It's demoralising, yeah. It's but it is what it is. Obviously, the circuit safety is the key issue. So
and a great job by the marshals as well.
Yeah, fantastic. The marshals always do a brilliant job. You just got to get your head down and reset and just treat it as a completely fresh start and go again, and just treat it as another little race. So it does make it interesting because obviously Don's on slicks. His then tyres came up to temperature, where in the opening few laps his are a little bit greasy until they get hot. Where my treaders have normally got a little bit more advantage on the road tyres.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it a great race, and it's a fantastic series, and I really enjoy it. I love it.
Well, next up on track here at Snetterton today will be the Edmondson Electrical Classic Thunder Saloon Championship and the Burton Power Blue Oval Saloon Series for everything Ford. The likes of Malcolm Harding in his Zack Speed Escort and Martin Reynolds in his new Ford Anglia have been the stars of the Blue Oval Saloon Series this year, while in Classic Thunder we're waiting to see if Jason Hughes can continue his unbeaten run in his class in his Super Touring spec Vauxhall Vectra. Let's head down to Ian Waterhouse in the pits, who's got some of the drivers for us.
Right, everybody, welcome down to an absolutely glorious assembly area here. Not weather-wise, we think there could be a big threat of rain coming, but just look at these cars. Now, somebody I wanted to catch up with yesterday, didn't get a chance. It is my good friend AJ. I call him a friend, he might not agree with me, but AJ, you're taking this machine out obviously for the first time, and what a day it was for you yesterday. What happened?
Oh, it was completely the opposite of what I'm used to from the Civic.
It's not a Honda, is it?
No, it's a bit of understeer, and then you think, all right, I'll give it a bit more power, then you get this whack full of boost, and then the rear comes round, so it's all... No, it was good fun. It's been 7 years since I've driven this, and my dad drove it at Brands, and so I said, can I have a spin in it at Snet? And here we are. It's good. It's a new engine that my dad's built himself.
And you're missing the point here, AJ. Yesterday's race took the class win.
Yeah, it was good. I didn't sort of expect it because obviously rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. From 7 years of racing front-wheel drive relatively successfly, and then jumping into this, so it was a bit of a whirlwind. But no, it was good. The aim was just to sort of do the similar lap time that the Civic does, which it did in qualifying. So I was really impressed with that straight out of the box. We've got a little breathing issue with the engine at the minute, but. We spoke to a couple of really nodule blokes and they've helped us out, so we've made a little change for race 2. Just as long as we can finish, that's the main thing. Get 2 good finishes under its belt. I'm not the most sympathetic of people with it versus my dad, bless him. But no, it's good. I'm really happy with it, and if we can get into the 209s today, that'll be good, and that'll round out a good weekend.
Well, let's hope the rain doesn't come then, because no chance if that comes.
No, I like the rain. It'll be mix it up a bit, wouldn't it? So no, bring on the rain.
It certainly is going to be loud. Here they are on track then, ready for the rolling start. It'll be a 15-minute race, and the grid reads as follows. The front row, James Card and Jason West in their BMWs. On the second row, Ricky Cann will be at the wheel of the Aston Martin V8 Vantage for this race, alongside Jason Hughes in the Vectra. Row 3, Brian Bransom's BMW, Colin Voice in his Mark 1 Escort. The fourth row is Paul Wood BMW, AJ Owen, who we've just heard from in the Sierra Cosworth. The fifth row, Neil Philpotts in the Mitsubishi Starion, Kevin Denwood's BMW. Row 6 will have James Everard's E30 M3, Ian Bauer's BMW that we saw earlier on. Row 7, Martin Reynolds Ford Anglia, Tom Abbott's Ford Capri. Row 8 will be Will Hunt's Ford Fiesta, James Dunkley in his XR2. Row 9, Colin Claxton Mark 1 Escort, Dan Mackay Ford Fiesta. The 10th row, Stuart Place Mark 1 Escort and Anton Martin's Mark 4 Escort XR3i. Row 11, Bradley Gelman failed to finish yesterday with his Sierra Cosworth, Mike Chittenden's beefy BMW, Joey Binks in the Carl Jones replica Cosworth, Andy Cripps at number 33 with his BMW, and Clive Hainsford in the Mazda RX-8. The very modified Mazda RX-8 will complete the grid. Getting ready to go racing then, a combined grid for the Edmondson Electrical Classic and Historic Thunder Saloons and the Burton Power Products Blue Oval Saloon Series. The pace car into pit lane. A power about to come on, get ready to be thunderstruck. Here we go, James Card and Jason West in their BMWs lead the field away, down towards Riches for the first time. Brian Branson gets away well in the orange BMW from a little further back on the grid. Are they all going to make it round? There's some dust being kicked up there. Has somebody lost it there at turn 1? No, I don't think they have. The BMW's together, and it's Jason West trying to get around the outside, but he goes wide at the hairpin. James Card there on the inside. Jason Hughes in the Vectra, the ex-Jason Plato car, is there in third place. And we are underway then. There's Bradley Gelman, good to see him back out. So Jason West at the inside in a Palmer's takes the lead from James Card. Brian Branson is fourth. Ricky Can in his Aston Martin is fifth. A fantastic sight this field makes. There's Gelman towards the back ahead of Clive Hainsford in the yellow Mazda RX-8 we saw. They are missing a few cars that failed to finish yesterday's race, unfortunately. Battle is on for third place. Looks like Brian Branson is up to third, going well in the orange BMW. So it's BMW M3s 1, 2 and 3. A shame we haven't got any of the Australian supercars that we normally see in Thunder Saloon races. No Andy Wilson with the Monaro, no Andy Robinson with his Ford Falcon this weekend. There's Branson and Hughes, third and fourth. Then a gap back to Ricky Can, Colin Voice in that awesome Mark 1 Escort. AJ Owen leads the Blue Oval Saloon Series split. Open to everything Ford. Side by side, the two BMWs, they head down the Bentley straight. James Card trying to get round the outside into Brundle. They're side by side on the entry. Yes, Card moves ahead. There's Neil Philpotts, the Mitsubishi Starion, chased by Alex AJ Owen in Father Craig's Ford Sierra Cosworth. First time he's raced it. He's already had a win with it in the Blue Oval Series. He's ahead of Paul Wood in his BMW M3 there. These are the quickest and most powerful cars we will see here at Snetterton this weekend from the Classic Touring Car Racing Club. It's BMWs 1, 2 and 3. The Vauxhall Vectra in fourth place. Jason Hughes, the current championship leader. He's unbeaten in his class. The championship in the Blue Oval Saloons is less clear-cut. Colin Claxton has had a good season so far in his Mark 1 Escorts. He's further down the order at the moment in about 16th place. Here comes James Card. He's got the lead back again now from Jason West. Ricky Can locks up big time there in the Aston. He's going to go off onto the grass. Look out, Neil Philpotts behind. Ever seen an Aston Martin competing in rallycross? No, you have. Good save, Ricky Can. I suspect his brakes might be going off. 1 minute on the clock then, so we will get one more lap out of this, and the leader's being slightly held up there by Colin Claxton, trying to get out of the way at Coram. That's allowed Jason West to close in just a little. Here's the fight for fifth position. Philpotts from the Aston Martin of Can. He's got back ahead of Colin Voice after that mistake at the end of the previous lap, and he goes past the Mitsubishi as well of Neil Philpotts. Ricky Can recovering. Now the lead battle is starting to heat up slightly, I think, between the BMWs. They're on their last lap now. Will it be Card, West or Branson that wins this? I would say it's between Card and West. There they go through the hairpin, but Branson's not far away. They've lapped Mike Chittenden, who's slowing up in his M3. He's out of it. Here they come. I think James Card has just about done enough. In towards Murray's corner for the last time. Jason West closing, but I think it's going to be too late. And it's going to be 2 out of 2 in the Edmondson Electrical Classic Thunder Saloons for James Card in his BMW M3. The Derbyshire driver takes the win. West second. Brian Branson makes it a BMW clean sweep of the podium. Well done, James Card. 2 out of 2 this weekend, making up for a mixed season so far. A lonely fourth is going to go to Jason Hughes, and that means he will extend his championship lead in the Classic Thunder Saloons. He'll win his class. He's won the class in every round so far this year. The Vectra across the line in fourth. Well, AJ Owen wins both our Blue Oval Saloon Series races. Then here's the provisional result. James Card, the winner by 3/4 of a second over Jason West, and Brian Branson making it a BMW top 3. Jason Hughes a class-winning 4th, Ricky Cann a class-winning 5th in the Aston, Colin Voice a class-winning 6th in the Escort. 7th goes to Paul Wood ahead of Neil Philpotts, who dropped back there on the final lap. It's AJ Owen in 9th overall. He wins the Blue Oval Saloon Series. James Everard 10th, Clive Hainsford just out dragging Kevin Denwood for 11th. Then Martin Reynolds 13th, Andy Cripps from the back of the grid takes 14th, and Will Hunt rounds out the top 15 with his Fiesta. Behind them, James Dunkley was just behind Will Hunt over the line. Dan Mackay, a lap down, was next home. Then Colin Claxton, Anton Martin in their escorts. Stuart Place, another escort, was next. And Joey Binks, the final finisher in the Carl Jones Duckham's Sierra Cosworth replica. We lost Mike Chittenden, we saw in his BMW on the last lap. Bradley Gelman pulled into the pits in his Sierra Cosworth. And Tom Abbott was the other retirement in the Capri. We can head down to Ian in Parc Fermé then to hear from our race winners.
And everybody, and breathe. What a cracking race that was. Here is your race winner, James Carden. Boy, oh boy, was it close though between him and Jason. Don't go too far, Jason, because, well, in fact, let's do it together, guys, because, my word, you two don't half go for it, don't you? But James, you just managed to pip him at the end.
Oh, only just. You know, he got ahead of me at the beginning and just made a bit of a mistake onto the back, and I just got the legs on him. And then I got a bit of a gap, and then the traffic was unlucky to me, and my tyres just went completely off. I've got one really old tyre, and the last few laps I had nothing. I thought you were going to get me. It was close.
You said that actually yesterday, didn't you? The pace at the end of the race wasn't quite there. Maybe next time, right?
Next time, definitely.
You get it. Because there seems to be a lot of pace in your Beamer over there.
Yes, yeah, there is. It takes a bit of time to come in, but yeah, it's a quick car. So thanks to G over here from G Sport.
G, there he is. Yep. There he is, G himself. The G man.
He's hiding. Get a close up on G. Get a close up on G. There we go. G, do you want to say some words?
He doesn't want to say anything, but that's the real star over there.
Yeah, absolutely. He builds both cars.
Does he?
Yeah,
himself. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. So he must be a very proud man, actually.
Exactly, he's very happy.
Oh, guys, a fantastic race. Thank you so much. You really give the joy. It seems that BMW is the way to go, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Of course, other manufacturers are available.
The weather's still looking threatening. Let's hope we don't get a cloudburst during our next race, which is for the Jaguar Enthusiasts Club Saloon and GT Championship. Well, the circuit looking a little damp, just as it did at Cadwell Park for the Big Cats. Let's have a look at the grid then in pole position. The grid based on the result from yesterday. It is number 4, Tom Robinson with the XJR6, alongside 58, Tom Lenthal in the XK8, normally raced by Derek Pearce. Second row, 97, that's Lawrence Kopok. He starts alongside Michael Seaborn, the championship leader, number 24 in the XJ40, effectively a Series 4 XJ6. Row 3, 54, Rick Walker in the lean, mean green machine, as we've called it, alongside number 28, Daniel Stewart. Daniel Stewart in Class B, as is Rick Walker. On the fourth row, 144 Cliff Ryan, that's a Class D car. Here's Jaguar XJRS alongside the first of the Class A cars, car we've just seen, Simon Dunford, number 5. And the final row, 45 David Ringham and 114 Steve Anderson in the ex-Lawrence Ball car. Michael Seaborn gave us a little bit of info in the run-up to this race. Mike Seaborn leading the championship, of course, coming into this one, looking for a class win today. There's his main opposition, Tom Lenthal, who normally runs that car for Derek Pitt. Oh, Tom Lenthal spun on the way to the grid. That tells you how slippery it is. Goodness me. And that's just on the green flag lap. And he was out of position anyway behind Rick Walker. I think that's the second time he's spun. Tom Lenthal there, second on the grid in the XK8. His objective is to beat Michael Seaborn in Class B. There's Daniel Stewart. I think we've lost Rick Walker as well, possibly number 54 in the green XJS. So it looks like we've got just 8 cars for this race for the Jaguars. There's just under 10 minutes left on the clock then, after the safety car starts. Now the safety car should be pulling into the pit lane this time by. It does so. up towards the red lights then. As we get ready to go, Jaguar Racing, the red lights are out and away we go up towards Britches for the first time. Good start by Tom Lenthal. Tom Robinson is in there with him. Now can Robinson get the car turned in? This extra powerful XJR6, the supercharged machine. Has he got it round the first corner? I think he has just about. Wait to see as they come out of the hairpin. I think we've lost our camera up at the hairpin. Apologies there. So I'll wait to see when they come back towards us at Palmer. I think the rain's getting into our equipment slightly, so sorry about this. Wait for the cars to come back towards us then. Tom Robinson, here he comes, down towards Palmer. A wiper going. He's going to have to be so careful not to let the back end come round. Michael Seaborn's got ahead of Tom Lenthal. That's important for his championship hopes. Up into second overall. There's David Ringham, the car prepared by Powerbell Motorsports. That's Robinson from Seaborn. Conditions have totally changed here at Snetterton. Third is the 58, normally raced by Derek Pearce. Now by Tom Lenthal. Daniel Stewart in fourth place, number 28. You can see them tiptoeing their way around there. They daren't use the throttle almost at all there. We could see one of the lower class cars win this if Tom Robinson starts to struggle. He's not struggling at the moment. He's out in front in the number 4 as they head down towards Brundle. Side by side for second. These two fighting for the championship. Lenthal's going to get back ahead of Michael Seaborn, or is he? They don't want to take too many risks in these conditions. Seaborn back at the inside. He holds second. Seaborn second, and Lenthal's down to fourth. Daniel Stewart's got through into third place. He's going well in the 28s. There's Simon Dunford, superb in fifth place, leading Class A. There's Cliff Ryan. But no real racing going on, or is there? Well, there was, but Daniel Stewart's going to spin out. Look out, Michael Seaborn. Oh, that was close. They had such a good race yesterday. Look at the way Daniel Stewart's moved back up after that quick spin. He's got ahead of Lenthal again. Now, Daniel Stewart, he'll have learned by his mistakes earlier on to be careful. He spun here at Agostini last time through. He's made his way back up onto the tail of Michael Seaborn. Is he going to attempt to pass? I don't think he's close enough there for second. This is for the lead of Class B as well. Michael Seaborn will be defending here because he wants to win the class and keep his overall championship lead. But Daniel Stewart, this is the best we've seen him run. He's up alongside Seaborn there. Round the outside of Hamilton's. Is he going to go straight on? No, he's held it together. Sideways again there off the corner, and he's got second place and he's got the lead of the class. This is great from Daniel Stewart. Seen him in the pre-93 touring cars with that car as well. He's gone wide though at Oggies. Can he hold the lead of the class in second place just ahead of Seaborn? Lenthal is in fourth place. Flashes the lights there. Has the checkered flag come out? Yes, it has. We couldn't see it there. Yeah, the checkered flag has come out slightly early. So the checkered flag is out for Tom Robinson. He's won it. Daniel Stewart comes over in second and wins Class B. Michael Seaborn is third. Well, the win goes to Tom Robinson. 2 out of 2 for him for the weekend. Second for Daniel Stewart, 17.6 seconds down. Third for Michael Seaborn, and second behind Daniel Stewart in Class B. Good recovery by Stewart from his spin. Tom Lenthal in fourth place. Fifth, Simon Dunford, he wins Class A. Sixth place goes to Cliff Ryan. David Ringham seventh, Steve Anderson eighth, and we lost Rick Walker at the start. Well, that just about wraps up today's racing here at the Snetterton 300 circuit with the Classic Touring Car Racing Club. A shame that the weather took a turn for the worse, but well done to everybody for a great day of racing. Special thank you as always to the volunteer marshals. We couldn't go racing without the Orange Army. Thank you to everybody else here at Snetterton, all the officials, the recovery crews, the medical staff, all the drivers and their mechanics for making it a great day's racing. Join us again soon for another edition of Full Throttle, but that's about all from us here at Snetterton. Thanks for watching and goodbye.